What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. So today's video we're going to be going kind of off of what I did on my last video, and that's going to be doing a whole kind of sort of paint correction on this side of the truck, maybe more than that. In my last video I replaced the badges or emblems that you see right up there, and with that I went through and polished up and buffed up the paint underneath and around the old ones. Because as most of you guys know, on trucks this old, when you are replacing the emblems, there's a pretty good wear spot around where the old emblems were. So, problem I ran into is when I buffed up and cleaned up that whole spot underneath the old emblems, made the rest of the paint look really bad, especially on this side of the truck. For about a year I was parking next to our front yard, or front lawn, and every single morning the truck would be getting hit by the sprinklers. And you don't think much of it at first, but over time you start to develop some really hard water spots on the truck, and that happened to me, and I should have done something about this earlier, but it was too late. It is what it is. So for today's video I'm going to be going through and trying to buff up and clean up this whole side of the truck, and then maybe the other side of the truck as well. The other side of the truck isn't nearly as bad because it wasn't on the yard side of the parking, but it is still a 20-year-old paint job, and I'm sure it's never been touched up, so it does have some imperfections, some spots, some scratches. By no means is this paint perfect. It is far, far from perfect, but after going through and polishing up these areas that I did already, I realized it could be a lot better than it is. And I'm one of those kind of people that now that I know what it's like, it's going to bug me if I don't go through and do it right and do it to the best that I can. So today's video is going to be going through and polishing up all of that stuff. I will preface, like I said in my last video, I am not a professional. I'm far from a professional. This will be the second time I've really ever done any polishing and buffing, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out the first time, and I feel like most people out there aren't professionals, and so I'm going to go through and show you guys what I can do. Maybe it'll give you guys the motivation to do it on your own rigs. I'm kind of one of those people that feel like you should always be willing to try something. There are some things that if you mess up, it can cost you a lot of money in the long run, but for the most part, everything I've learned is through doing research and then trying it myself. I get asked by people all the time, where did I learn all this stuff about engines and diesels and trucks and different vehicles, and it is 100% just learning. I didn't go to school for any of it. It was looking stuff up online and working on stuff myself and learning from my own mistakes. There are plenty of mistakes along the way. There are ways to minimize it by making sure you do your research, but I'm very much a preacher of going out and trying things yourselves and learning it. Most of us are capable of doing a lot more than we think we are capable of doing. You just got to get past the nervous factor of actually trying to do it. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm talking about with the water spots and what it looks like buffed up, and then I'm going to get into cleaning the whole truck. So here you go. Here's the truck. As you can see, there's me. This is the spot of the old emblem. Back you up a little bit. We got the fender up there, and then looking down the side of the truck. This is where the door emblem was on the truck, and as you can see, the paint is actually pretty nice. This is where I had cleaned it up and buffed it up before. But if you look up here, now you see all the water spots I'm talking about. And no, it's not just dirty. I've gone through and cleaned this entire side of the truck, and this is what's left. This is how clean the truck gets because of all the hard water spots. So compare that to down here, where it's not perfect. There's still chips and some scratches in the paint. It's a 20-year-old truck, but it is light years better from that to that. So now you can see why it's bothering me so much that these certain areas are that much cleaner than those. So I'm going to start on this side and start going through the whole truck. I'm not really looking forward to doing this. I can tell you it was a heck of a workout doing there, up there, same on the other side on the tailgate. But I'm gonna make it happen. I want it done. I'm not looking forward to doing it, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks at the very end. So there's my motivation. I will probably put you guys on a time lapse so you don't get too bored watching the whole thing. Yeah, let's get to work.
Got off the wires. When I close my eyes, disconnected and tired. I see you, yeah. And I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. It's just fired. I see you go down. I see. Yeah, I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down. And I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down.
Well, alright, I think we are at a stopping point for the day. It all went pretty darn smoothly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of it. You probably watched just about 3 hours worth of work right there. It took a while, about as long as I expected. We didn't get the whole side done today. The pad I was using is pretty shot at this point, and I didn't want to keep using it in fear of doing some damage to the paint. I'll show you guys it. So here's the pad, pretty worn out. I mean, that'll all clean off, but it's the actual backing of it that the foam is just starting to break down, as you can see. So I decided to call it a day. Like I said, I didn't want to do any more, or I didn't want to do any damage to the paint with that foam wearing away. I don't know if it would or not. I probably pushed it a little farther than I should have already, so I figured I would just call it a day. I don't have any more of these pads, so I'll have to get some more. But it did just about this entire side of the truck, and as you saw, it was pretty heavy-duty work. So it wasn't just a quick pass over. It took a lot of passes working its way up through the compounds. But overall, I think it turned out pretty darn good. So I'll give you guys a look at the paint now, and maybe do a little flashback from the beginning to now so you guys can see what it looked like. Basically a mirror finish on it, minus all the actual like chips and heavier duty scratches, but it looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely awesome. Hopefully you guys can get a little bit of it. There you can see up there what it was looking like. I wasn't able to get in that crack super well, but that compared to this, it is just fantastic. I'm super happy with it. I was able to get about halfway up through the passenger side door, so I probably got 2/3 of the truck done, or 2/3 of this side of the truck done, and I'm pretty darn happy with it. Now you can see me. I'll start using it as a mirror now. But there we go. Let me know what you guys think about it. This was a ton of work. My arms are super tired. I guess I'll use this as a mirror. I don't know if it's harder for me simply because I can't get as close to the truck, and I actually have to hold it out here like this as opposed to holding it in tight where my strength is. So it's basically the whole time holding it at almost a full extension, as I'm sure you guys saw. And getting up in the higher areas was a pain in the butt too. I'll probably come back and touch those up later. Yeah, Let me know what you guys think. I think it turned out phenomenal. And I'm glad I did it. Despite all the work, I'm glad I did it. So there we go. I know this probably wasn't the most exciting video, but it was something that needed to be done, something that was bothering me. And it's not done yet, but it's mostly done, minus the whole other side of the truck. But this was the bad side of the truck. This side was much worse because, like I said, it was on the side of the sprinklers, and it would get sprayed on through the sprinklers, get the groundwater on it, and then it would just bake on in the day. So it was a lot worse. The other side, which I'll probably end up doing at some point, should be quite a bit quicker. I don't think I'll have to go through all the different stages of compound. But yeah, I guess I should say everything I've been using today for this whole polishing kit, I got on Amazon. It was I think the whole kit was like 120 or 130 bucks. And honestly, I'm pretty darn happy with it. It's got some good results. The compounds on it seem to work really well. So if you guys are interested in it, I'll leave it linked in the description below or post it up here somewhere. But as always, just about everything I use in these videos, whether it's actually putting it on the truck or tools I'm using, most of it is linked down in the description below, so you guys can go check it out. I will say I do get a small cutback if you guys choose to buy from that, but it doesn't cost you guys anything extra. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra. Basically, it just gives me, it takes some money away from Amazon, and it gives me a very small cut of it, like 1 or 2%. So helps the channel out. If you guys are interested, all that's listed below. I almost forgot something very important. This is at the end of the video. I'll probably put it at the beginning of the video so most of you guys can see it. But that thing I was talking about ordering, it is on its way. Big purchase coming in, should be here pretty soon. I'm super excited about it. It should make a huge difference on this truck. Something I've been wanting to do basically since I bought the truck. Something I've actually never done on any of my vehicles I've ever owned. So needless to say, as you can tell, I'm excited about it. Should be pretty awesome. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And if you are subscribed, just make sure to stay in touch with the videos because that should be coming here pretty darn soon. As always, if you guys like the video, leave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I should be able to get back to just about all of you guys. If you have any tips or whatnot about polishing, if you've done this before, I've never done it before. If you have any tips, leave them down below. I'm always open to learning, and some other people that are reading through the comments might learn something as well. That's the great thing about YouTube, is you can learn just about anything you want on it. So if you have any tips or guides, leave them down below. And I would appreciate it. I'm sure other people would appreciate it. Yeah, this video is probably going up on a Sunday, so hopefully you guys are all having a great weekend. The weather's a little gloomy right now, but it actually worked out really nicely. Not doing this all in the direct sunlight makes it harder, makes it a pain in the butt for me because it's hot, and makes it so the compound dries quicker. So it actually worked out pretty darn well. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all having a good weekend. I'll catch you guys on the next video.